Okay, so we're gonna continue from where we left off. Trying to get some rare matches here. These characters do not have sprites. We're just gonna put them in a matchup and decide the winner. Match 1. Last time we had Kobra versus Ken. This match was meant to be a joke, but this clearly went over fanboys' heads. The whole purpose of that match was to have Ken get revenge on someone who was trying to rip him off. Duh, it was a joke. Kobra is nowhere near the level of Ken, so let's give him someone near his level. Right, that's what you want, right? Kobra versus Dan. Two low-tier guys going at it. Of course, Dan considered one of the weakest in the Street Fighter universe. Kobra, pretty much considered a joke in the MK universe. Dan thinks he's created his own style and it's the strongest style. Kobra has mastered kickboxing and thinks he's tough. Who would win in this match? Simple. Kobra kicks Dan's head off his body with that shitty fatality. Murders him. Kobra is actually a serial killer and has killed many people with his martial arts techniques. What has Dan done? At least Kobra has won matches. Kobra just looks pathetic when compared to the other Mortal Kombat characters. Compare Kobra to Dan, Kobra is a monster. Match 2. Oh, you want Jade back? Well, you've got Jade back. She will be taking on Decapre, a bison doll from Russia. Similar to Cammy, but the difference is she has retractable daggers made from psycho power. So who would win if the bison doll took on the Edenian assassin? Your winner would be Jade. Once again, let me repeat myself. Jade is more experienced. She has been an assassin for far longer than Decapre. Has been training for far longer than Decapre and has fought tougher opponents than Decapre. Weapons, Jade, again, she has 2 and can use them very effectively. 3, her intangibility, huge deciding factor right there. 4, Jade has victories over Shiva, someone stronger than Decapre. Jade also has a victory over Smoke, someone who is a better assassin and ninja than Decapre. Okay? Jade wins, hands down. On top of that, Cammy and Decapre had a miserable story mode in Street Fighter V. They were bullied by Vega. Let's be honest, Vega bullied Camry the entire game. So yes, Jade definitely wins this match. Match 3. Now onto the rare characters. Lei Mei. Now when's the last time you heard that name, Lei Mei? A tragic character. Only fighting to free her people. Trained by the legendary Shujinko. Mastered quite a few styles. Relies heavily on strikes and kicks. So who from Street Fighter should she fight? Who relies heavily on kicks? You could give her Juri, you could give her Chun-Li. Screw it, let's give her Chun-Li. Of course, Chun-Li, the first lady of fighting games. Most known for her legendary kicks, the lightning kicks. Practically the most famous female fighting game character ever, right? Has been after M. Bison for years, and in the end didn't get to deliver the final blow. A lot of people pissed about that. In fact, she didn't exactly have a great story mode either. She attacked Bison, got wrecked, then was defeated by Rashid. Later came back with a couple of wins, defeated F.A.N.G. But overall, it wasn't a great story mode at all for Chun-Li. But I digress. Who would win in a match between Lei Mei and Chun-Li? The winner would be Chun-Li. Lei Mei hasn't been around long enough, or has she done enough to be on par with Chun-Li? Chun-Li has mastered more styles, more experienced, and has more feats. Chun-Li's got this. Fourth and final battle. F.A.N.G. We haven't seen F.A.N.G. in a battle, right? No sprites for F.A.N.G. Let's put F.A.N.G. in a battle. F.A.N.G. will be taking on Shang Tsung. Why Shang Tsung? Both second in command. Both the brains of the operation. Shao Kahn relied on Shang Tsung for schemes and plots and plans. And Bison relied on F.A.N.G to invent the Black Moons. In fact, if it weren't for F.A.N.G inventing the Black Moons, and Bison wouldn't have been half as powerful. So you gotta give some credit to F.A.N.G. So who would win if Shao Kahn's right-hand man took on Bison's right-hand man? The winner would be Shang Tsung. More abilities, more experienced, far more deadlier than F.A.N.G. The only characters that got their ass kicked more than F.A.N.G in Street Fighter V, I would say, were the Bison Dolls and Birdie. Outside that, F.A.N.G was an absolute punching bag and was practically defeated by everyone. So no, he can't beat Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung steals his soul. And that's about it. I'll try and put Havoc and some of these other rare characters in more matches later on. But for the time being, that's it.